There's a lot that can be said about the 2007 film Alien vs. Predator Requiem, but visually appealing is definitely not one of them. The film suffers from a bloated cast, poor writing, and horrific lighting. This is definitely one of the worst films in the Alien and Predator franchises. I think it's tough to overstate the biggest flaw in this film. That is simply the lighting. The film was so dark that in many of the scenes you couldn't see what was happening. Even worse, the camera was extremely shaky and it's not clear what the hell is going on. In a movie like this, it's absolutely essential to see the fight scenes and both the aliens and the predators and who's hitting whom. Now, what bothers me most about this is that the movie chose to make this film dark on purpose. I'm not sure why they thought this was a good idea, but apparently they thought the darkness would add an element of horror and fear. This was a colossal mistake and really made the movie not even watchable or enjoyable. The movie plot is simple enough to follow. It picks up right where Alien vs. Predator 2004 left off. A hybrid alien predator bursts out of the stomach of the diseased predator or the injured predator from the earlier film. The spaceship crashes in a small town and soon there's aliens everywhere looking to implant eggs. A predator heads to Earth and at the end we see the pred alien fighting that predator. The movie also suffers from one other thing, and that's a bloated cast with many different characters who seem to be introduced and then killed off a scene or two later. Sadly though, the film features some pretty good actors like Rico Aylesworth and Sam Trammell. I also thought the movie really suffered from not identifying a main protagonist. It appears to be either teenager Ricky or Rico's character Kelly, but both had very limited screen time for the most part. I also need to point out the extraordinary number of deaths in this film. What made Alien vs. Predator 2004 such a good movie in my opinion was the suspense and the character development. In both films, we saw characters slowly discover what they were battling and watch them barely defeat their nemesis. Alien vs. Predator Requiem is just a bloodbath with almost no character development at all. We learn a little bit about one of the main characters, Ricky, who has a crush on another teenage girl and who also has a felon brother. However, throughout the movie though, characters are simply introduced and killed off in the next scene or two. The movie has some completely unnecessary scenes that make it seem more like Terrifier and less like an Alien movie too. For example, the scene where the alien lays eggs in the pregnant woman is completely pointless. Also, early in the film, what is the point in having an innocent boy killed? One other thing that really bothered me too had to do with the setting itself. It's set in a small town, and it's really not an ideal setting for a movie like this. Alien vs. Predator was much better, as it had an isolated area. The ending of the film was definitely far from satisfying, since we watched the government just nuke the town. In general, this film was really bad, and I thought the biggest issue was the lighting, or lack of it.